edition of ET Now Hangouts with me, Ankita Saxena. Well, with the changing consumer landscape and Gen Z having a bigger share of voice than ever before, the brands have become more woke and are reorienting themselves with the changing consumer landscape. Well, to find out more on how brands are adopting crazy marketing strategies, I'm joined by Rajdeepak, CCO Publicis Group South Asia and Chairman burneet South Asia. Hi Raj, thank you so much for taking the time out and coming to our studio.
Thank you for having me over.
Raj, let's get started right off the bat. It's been 1 year since you were appointed as the Chairman of burneet South Asia and CCO of Publicis Group South Asia.
Yeah.
How has this 1 year been and how's the transition? I know you don't like that question of the transition of being from a creative to a business because you were already doing a lot of that, but I will ask you, how's the transition been?
I think it's fun. If very frankly, transition is always fun. I think the best part is you are been with this team or been working with this team for the last, for burneet for me, almost going to be 11 years.
Yeah.
And so the team that is very close to me and the core team, and it's there for last, some are from 10 years, some are 15 years, some are 7 years. So the same team is there with us. I think that's the best part of it. And of course, the challenges increases. The main thing is your challenge increases, your vision increases, but you have some amazing people to work with. And I think so. The year is not ended yet. We have 2 more months to go.
Right.
It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year.
Okay. So a good year for advertising or a good year for you?
I think good for advertising, if you ask me.
And why do you say that?
I think, see, like I always say, right, it's more than advertising, also more a good year for creativity, because the more the challenges, the more the positivity. You're always constantly creating something new, what's happening. If the election
so does that mean the challenges are more and therefore it is good? Okay.
It's both. It's both. Because like I told you, right, if it's flat, then there is no fun, always. Now when ups and downs is always good. Like the election is coming, it's good for us. The festivals are coming, just went, it's good for us.
Yeah.
You know, everything that's happening is going to be good, and you constantly find out something new to create something new out of it, because otherwise our job can be really boring if you're not creating anything new.
Absolutely. So I'll come to that of for creating new. How has your approach towards brand solutions changed over the years, specifically post-COVID?
I think drastically, if you ask me. I think if you see what has been happening, and there was a time advertising as an industry, or advertising is one of the biggest things that's happening. So we are actually having a chat on this, if you remember that. We're talking about the advertising, there is social media, there is influencer, there is everything was coming up together, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at it now, a lot of time during the pre-COVID, it actually started happening pre-COVID.
Yeah.
You know, when we started having a lot of money pumping into all the startups and everything, the conversation was not having what's happening in the next 5 years, what's happening now. And I think COVID just accelerated the entire thing. We are not looking at things what's happening in the next 5 years, but tell me what's happening every month or every week that COVID made us do it.
Yeah.
And now we are looking into things, looking at the brand, about not talking about what is your creative solution, what is the creative advertising is going to be. We are looking at the brands and saying what is your solution for the next 2 years or next year, and what can we do? How can we change your brands? Can we do something with your service? Can we do something with your add something with your product or something with your infrastructure? Can we do something with our brands to do something better out of it? I think solution becoming a now big thing with most of our clients that you're working with.
Right. Okay. So speaking of that, the one thing that has really picked up pace as far as change is concerned, whether you like it or whether you don't like it, you just cannot ignore it, and that's AI.
Yeah.
How has AI been an enabler for you and for creativity at your agency and in general as well?
I think it's amazing. I think it's the best boon we can get it, because if you ask me, AI is not, I will not say it's just a tool. It's in fact a partner that you can have to build things, amazing things. I remember, like I was talking to someone that I remember exactly 8 years back, we were doing a film where we wanted to actually create 1,890 edits. We wanted to do it.
Wow.
We really want for 1 month to make it happen. And now with what we have, which you can give a command and it can be happening in literally have a coffee and things are done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want to change it, done. You know, you want to, see, the thing is the vision and the storytelling is not going to change. The vision is, you can have more options for that. What AI is helping us to do more options, so we can eliminate a lot of things that we don't want it, instead of try it and fail it. Now its elimination is much more faster. And that's what AI is helping us do it. And of course, your imagination is the most important thing. And I think it just fueled our imagination. I think I'm smiling because of that. I'm loving it. I'm loving the time that we are in now.
Right, absolutely. So tell us, what are the biggest trends in advertising and marketing right now, and then we'll talk about the future after that.
I think more than I will say trend, it was always been part of it. I think no brands was created for having a, how can I make the P&L right and everything. It was, they started with the product, they started with how can we, what do you call it, touch people's life, how can it impact people's life. And a lot of brands talked about that, right? And a lot of people make it purpose. You don't know the purpose.
Right, brand purpose.
It's a build like that. I think what we are seeing it more and more, the core is coming back. And with a lot of startups coming out, we can see that happening a lot. And a lot of big brands, and multinational brands, are looking at what the core is, why we exist in people's life, why people get up in the morning and says why they want to use me. You know, they don't get up in the morning and say, I want to use brand X. No one get up in the doing that. Or, you know, open my car, what do you call that, wardrobe, and says, I'm going to a brand. It's about why you exist in my life. I think brands are searching for those things. And I think this is an amazing time now because it's, there was a time like there was with 3 fashion brand or 4 fashion brand was part of our life. Now there are 400 or 500 minimum. I'm telling you, right? Same with shoes, same with food, same with everything. I think with that, the brand wanted to have why you exist in my life is more important thing. They're fighting this battle. I think that's going to happen, and that's the future is going to be why you exist in my life. You're finding that.
Right. In fact, Raj, we were discussing something very important, and you just said that, you know, the purpose of a brand. And in fact, they're adopting a more customer backward approach. Like you mentioned yesterday, that they start with what the consumers want and they work backwards with marketing. And in fact, even with the product development. So with the help of examples that you were talking about, tell us, how is that customer backward approach working? And it is, you know, it'll blow your mind at the level at which brands are operating to the extent where they don't even want the product to be seen as a part of the mainstream marketing.
I think, Ankita, you asked a very, very right question on that. You know, the more and more when I'm working with founders and marketers who are actually in the forefront of the marketing industry, or I'll tell the product industry, they're looking at people first. They're not looking at what I'm going to sell. They're saying, so what you want and what can I make for you? So I'll give you an example. There is a beer brand in Brooklyn, and founded by 2 women. Entrepreneurs, and so I was having a chat with them, and it says, so how do you do your beer branding and everything? Because we deal with a lot of beer brands in the country, not only country, in out of country, in other countries also. It says, this is how do you do it? And it says, very interesting. This is, we were very clear. We wanted beer for women. So it says 95% of or 90+% of beer is actually focused towards men. So we want women to have beer. I says, it is very clear, women to have beer. And said, whenever talking women to have beer, we want women not to have cocktail. We want women not to have wine. What can we do to replace those with beer? So, and they talked about, you know what, Raj, they said, Raj, what we learn from that, you know, what they like a sweeter note. Can we have beer with sweeter note? I says, okay, then I thought, you know what, if they're having 5 beers, 2 will be sweeter and the 3 will not be sweeter. And this is, then I went to the brewery. I saw actually they have 70 different beers they are serving, 70 different beer.
Wow.
And out of which 4 of them is actually catering to 50%, and that other 66 of them are catering to next 50%, who are never drinking beer. So they are like masala chai, they are like pumpkin, they are like what do you call it? Mango lassi. They can go on about those things. This is the sweeter note. This is, we want people to try those beer, fall in love with beer, and then we can slowly progress to the bitter taste. Right? And it says, okay, fantastic, that is amazing. And then I saw the entire bar. The bar is like a WeWork. I saw a lot of women working on the place. It says, we want it to be women friendly. Why the bar has to be dingy and dark? Why the neon sign is needed? Right? It's more open. It's women are working like a WeWork. They're all having beer, and the most interesting part, they're having feeding room. I said, oh, that's, I've not seen. I said, yes, because we want women to come. If a woman to come, they will have the child with them. And if they're new mother, then they will need a place for nursing. This is the nursing room that we have. So now they're looking at an entire ecosystem for women. Okay, that is just one brand I'm talking about. I was talking about another brand I saw, Veja, the shoe brand. Again, so I was talking to the Veja team, one of the coolest fashion shoe brand is on the planet now. So I was telling, so I saw something called, they have a cobbler service. Okay. I said, wait a second, you want me to sell more shoes. I said, yes.
But you're also repairing them, so why
Repairing them.
buy them again?
Exactly. I don't want to buy new shoes.
Yeah.
He says, wait a second. So you are paying to me $200 or $150 to buy a shoe.
Yeah.
Now, then you come to me after 3 or 4 years. I will say, Raj, the shoe is not working, so you repair the shoe for me. Repair it. And you know that the shoe will last for more 4 years. So in your head, you know, if you are paying $200 or $150, the shoe is going to last for 8 to 9 years.
Wow.
So the second pair of shoe, you don't mind buying it because you are not looking at $200, you are looking at 9 years.
Yeah.
I said, but it is a new plan? He says, no, we have in 9 different cities in the world. We are selling it like that, and it's been one of the most successful structure that we created after being sustainable.
Yeah.
It's been working amazingly well for us.
Yeah.
And it's one of the biggest fashion brands. It says we spend zero in advertising. We have zero amount of on stock because we don't have keeping in the go down or everything. We don't have anything.
There's no inventory.
There's no inventory and no investment.
Wow.
It's a self-sustained company, and it's amazing. Again, everything that we talked about
in marketing has been turned on its head.
Turned around head. Because the thing is, people do it and see how things can be done.
And then how have you reoriented yourself? Because obviously, like as you said, as a traditional marketing guy, I was just, I'm just gobsmacked by what is happening, as far as marketing is concerned. How have you reoriented yourself or your thought process, wrapped your head around it?
I think one of the best thing that can happen to me, I think, is the kind of people that I was interact. I'm telling you very frankly, the kind of marketers that I interact. A lot of marketers that we know, like in one of the biggest FMCG brand have 2 words. They says they are mavericks and they are brand managers. You know what I mean? I'm lucky to hang around a bunch of mavericks, amazing mavericks. So we're constantly looking how the brand is changing, what the future of the brand is going to be. Like I've given a small example, right? I was talking to one of the brand managers. Says, when the 2 colas are fighting with each other, giants are fighting with each other. The brand that is picked up with this no unbranded is actually boba tea. Yeah. Gen Alpha is drinking boba tea. Yeah. Right? So now it is you give hat to the marketers who are looking at it and say, you know what, the problem is not boba tea. Problem is not the other cola brands. Right. How we deal with them. So we look back and says, what I've started doing is actually working a lot and saying, you know what, from advertising, you can do advertising. It's not like we can't do advertising for the last 30, 40 years we've been working on it. We have an amazing team. I have like 22 years of working on marketing and everything with advertising and do that. Yeah. But how can we do a solution for you? Yeah. What are the marketing solution we can do? What a creative solution we can do that for you? By doing that, we are looking into going back and saying, what are the problems are, what genuine business problems are, not your sales problem. That is not sales problem, is not your business problem. The business problem can be very different from your sales problem. Look at the base, what the business problems are, and how can we change things for you. And for every brand that you're working on it, we are doing it. In fact, some brands that we have actually got on board, very international brands, we are working for companies out of India also. They're very clear about one mandate. We are not doing advertising. For advertising, we have your shop in your country to do that. We, in Burneet India, will work with your business problems. Okay. And we will work on a solution for that. And that is how we actually change ourselves.
When you say your business problem is different from your sales problem, how does that differentiate? Because eventually that has to convert into sales, right?
Yes, you are right about it. Sales problem is actually your, what do you call that? As a doctor, you're having a fever is your, what do you call, symptom. Okay. Not having a right sale is a symptom that are happening, why people don't like your brand. Okay. That is why they're not buying you. Right. Now understand why do people don't like your brand.
Okay. It's the why of it.
It's a why. Why they don't like it. Okay. Why they are going to the competition, or why they're just having a flirting with your brand. If you don't understand the why, if you like, I always joke saying that you go to a doctor, you have a fever and go to a doctor, the doctor will give you paracetamol. And you had a paracetamol, fever is fine, then your mother falls sick. Then your mother goes to the doctor, get a paracetamol. Now the problem is not fever. Now you go to doctor says, well, can you do a test? And he says, oh, you have a dengue. Now the dengue, then you can go to dengue treatment. And now that is not a solution again. Yeah. Now you go back and says, where is the waterlogging is happening? Now filling of that place is not a solution also. Yeah. Killing the mosquito is not a solution. Understand where is the pipe which is dripping. So the solution will come with a plumber, not with a paracetamol.
Okay.
Are you what I'm saying? Get a plumber to fix the tap. Right. Where the water dripping is happening. Because the water has been collected somewhere. So I think going back where the problem is, and that is what we are doing. And of course, if you solve that, solution will happen. The marketing solution with the creative solution will actually make the sales happen later.
Right.
But that is the most important part. Why people are not buying it? Why you don't? The word I will say is, why you're not part of my life?
Okay.
You know how you make brands make part of people's life.
Interesting, yeah.
You know what I mean? Why you exist in my life?
Right.
If we can't solve that problem, we can't do the sales problem.
Wow.
We can't solve that.
So what, according to you, are the challenges of the landscape right now? Is it changing too fast? There's so much of data also now, because you have AI also. There's piles and piles of data to decipher. What is the real challenge now for you?
I think more than challenge, I think so the data and AI is actually helping us a lot, do a lot of things, right? Like I always say, data helps you tell what not to do.
Yeah.
You know, what to do, that depends on your imagination, and what depends on you.
Yeah.
That we can do 20 things, different
That's
solutions.
An interesting insight, yeah.
Yeah, like someone told me, like someone was telling me, I was talking to someone on cricket, he says, Sachin Tendulkar knows how to hit a ball 4 different ways.
Yeah.
But with experience, he knows what three ways not to hit.
Yeah. At what ball?
At what ball? You know what I mean? Who is bowling and what not to do with the 3 different ways, right? In the same way with experience, that we exactly know what are the 3, the data tells you what are the ways you can do it, but also tells you what not the 3 or 4 different ways not to do that. Your imagination tells you what are the new ways of doing it, right? I think with the same with the AI. AI helps us to understand what is the creative process, to understand what are the process to make you understand what are the failure, what is the easier way to fail, understand these are things, 5 things if I do, it doesn't look good, it doesn't sound good, it doesn't, what do you call that, the visualization is not right, the storytelling can't be right, or the product can be right and a bit wrong. We can know that by understanding it. Before that we used to do it, we do it 5 ways and to say this is one will work. Now you know the elimination is happening with the 4, so at least you can try 40.
Right.
We didn't have a time to do that. Now we can do that. I think that's the amazing time. And the most importantly, I think so, one of the biggest fear that we are seeing, and I think which is what is going wrong. Going wrong is a lot of brands are trying to follow each other.
Okay.
So by the time, if everything is right, you follow that. The moment that falls right, and you will also fall flat.
Flat, yeah.
Flat. And I think a lot of brands are not understanding that.
Okay.
You know, very smart ones are looking at it saying, how am I relevant to people for the next 5 years from now?
Yeah.
If the brands are not thinking like that, so you have to build it from now.
Correct.
You have to design it from now, the relevance and everything. Why? You're looking at Gen Z and suddenly you realize Gen Alpha don't love you anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. But tell me something, Raj, has this change come about, this customer backward approach, has that come about more post-COVID? Because, you know, we saw big brands like, we saw Victoria's Secret that completely changed its positioning. Like, for years it was known as something, then it completely changed to become more inclusive, and we saw that happening with HUL's Fair and Lovely also, that changed to Glow and Lovely. That whole customer-centric approach, is it a result of the cancel culture, you know, post-COVID, the consumer being more active and consciously aware of being more woke?
So I will not talk about cancel culture, or I will talk about woke and everything. It's brand managers or marketers, or let's talk about the founders, are looking at what people wanted. Okay. You know what I mean? Big brands has been living in a certain way, and
but that was even before COVID, right? Then what changed?
Because see, understand that it's just what do you call that? It's dominoes effect. It's dominoes effect. You see some other brand actually get totally screwed up, and this is I don't want to sit in there.
That's my question. How do you think that brand is you know, screwed up? Because it's because of the backlash, perhaps, right? It's the people who are telling them now, you know, speaking more against it.
No, I think more than people coming in, I think a lot of new brands are coming on the paper. Like I'm talking, I will not name the brands, but I'm working with a lot of brands, and they are having trouble when they're living, you know, the brands that are built on Instagram, brand on like a face-to-face, it's like on the spot, B2C brand happening. What's happening on, we talk about celebrity and influencer. Again, one other thing, right? Celebrity comes once in a day in your life, once in a month in your life, and the movie is released, or once in a year in your life. The influencer coming to me every day. There's like a friend telling me what's happening, what's not, and everything. Same are with the brands that are on Instagram or social media, or brands who are listening to consumer. They are like, oh, you want this? Okay, let me figure out this for you. Oh, you want this? Oh, this is what's happening. Let me design something. Oh, Diwali is coming. Let me come and say Diwali thing. Oh, you don't like Diwali. At the same time, Halloween coming, can we combine that? Oh, my Christmas is coming. Oh, holidays are coming. Can you do something?
Yeah.
So they're talking to you every day. They're like a friends, right, on social media. In social media, actually, the brands are competing not with another brand. The brands are competing with your friends who is in Goa, who is putting pictures saying, this is what I'm drinking, and this is what I'm wearing, and this is where I'm staying.
Wow.
The brands are fighting with that girl who is your friend. Brands are not fighting with another friend, another brand, trust me. So the brands, it can't be that girl, then you are in trouble.
But finally, Raj, tell us what is going to be the future of advertising and marketing in the next 5 years? Let's take 5 years.
I think more, let's talk about advertising. Not advertising. Let's pull back and say, what is the future of creative solution business?
Okay.
Or creative marketing solution business, and that is
This
what
is what it's going to be called.
It's going to be called. I keep on calling my my team and my brand managers that we work with. We are a creative solution company.
Yeah.
You know, our biggest job is not to tell you what is the TVC or what is the film that you can do with anyone else, right? That's everyone is doing it, and again, the brands have been doing it, so everyone has been doing it. Your biggest thing is why the marketing companies and the creative companies have to find why consumer need to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
And how can we change your service, how can you change your ecosystem, how can you change your entire, what do you call that, product, your everything. Okay, how can we help you to do that? I think that's the biggest thing that's going to happen, and it's already started happening in a lot of brands. Like the biggest architect, I love this architect called Biak. He's a Danish guy. I love his line where he says, future is already here. Only thing is not equally distributed.
Okay. On that note, Raj, thank you so much for joining us. It was a very insightful conversation. Thank you for coming over.
Thank you. It was amazing talking to you.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.